That's the four members of Color Green playing a chilled out version of Fool's Parade, the title track from their newly released second album. We tracked down founding members Noah Kohll and Corey Madden to find out how they went from being a duo to a quartet.
The first record was primarily both of us, but there's some other people that played with us, and then eventually Corey and Kyla came along, and when we got into a room together, it kind of made sense. And expanded the sonic vibrations of the band.
I like that.
Yeah.
And Corey, how did you feel about having another Corey in the band, though? That's great.
I love it. We really take advantage of that as much as we can.
I'll bet you do.
It's fun. It's also a really good thing with sound guys or staff anywhere to see who's actually listening to you. Because she'll be like, "Hey, my name is Corey," and then she'll be like, "Hey, my name is Corey," and they'll just keep walking. You're like, "Okay." And then some people will be like, "Two Corys." You're like, "Okay, that person's like paying attention."
Yeah, there you go.
I like using that. That's my version of the brown M&M, of the David Lee Roth brown M&M.
Gotcha. I love it. All right. So when you did get together, the four of you, what struck you to make you think that this was going to be a thing? What was the vibe?
Well, it seemed like I'd already been in a band with Kyla like a long time ago.
Okay.
So we kind of already had a relationship, and it just seemed like a lot of, it felt like it's supposed to feel, where it felt like four friends
Right.
getting together and molding, and everyone bringing their own thing to the table, you know?
Yep.
It's fun.
All right. And so did you immediately think, okay, now we got to make a record together? How did this Fool's Parade take shape?
I mean, we did a tour together in the summer, and then, we just had songs, and we kind of just were like, well, let's make a new record because the band sounds... Give me one moment.
It just kind of felt like there was some of these songs that were kind of in the ether as we're in the idea of writing new stuff. And in the middle of that, this became the band. And then it was just kind of getting in the room and just really like hashing it out between all four of us and just like doing the work, you know?
All right. So you work with a producer by the name of Mike Krebel. So who is he?
Yeah, Krebel.
Well, see,
yeah.
couldn't go
No,
out.
I got you. You're all good. Mike's a dear old friend of mine. I've met Mike when I was like 16. We're both New Jersey guys. And,
Okay.
He's just been a friend. He's become, he's become a friend of everybody's just by, LA kind of thing. We just kind of, he's a really talented engineer. He has a great ear, and it's just easy when you're the kind of obvious stuff when you like trust in somebody and you can really, it's easy to talk to somebody in the studio, when we're like really getting to work. He knows his shit.
There you go.
Yeah, he's very easy to work with.
Yeah.
Very easy to work with.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Keith.
There's the cat. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many corgis?
No.
I wish.
I saw the video. Whose idea was the video?
I mean, I think it was Corey Rose's idea, the drummer, because we were just kind of like, we had this friend who, it was her birthday party at the horse race tracks, and we were like, we should film it. It'd be a fun music video to do, and like, the themes of God and a dollar kind of go in line with
it was kind of like this.
Going on the horse races and betting and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're at a horse track and there's corgi races going on, it seems like 1 and 1 makes 2 kind of fun thing.
Gotcha. And what can you tell me about the song in general, God in a Dollar?
Anyway, I was writing the lyrics about it, and I was doing a lot of transcendental meditation at the time, and also kind of reflecting back on what it was like being a kid in Omaha, Nebraska, and being bored and trying to find my kicks in, a plethora of substances and stuff like that. So, it's about transcendental meditation, and it's also about buying weed in South Omaha, and those are the two things that it's about.
The Four Leaf Clover video, I see you made the song. You made a video. It starts out with somebody playing a Monkees record.
Right.
So
Oh, you caught that. The record was it was a dollar record that I found at a Goodwill, because the way you work a Dream Machine is with an album. So I thought that was fitting. I mean, I love the Monkees and Nee Smith and all that stuff, and I just thought it was a kind of cool nod to those lads, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like
There
the
you
album.
go. Big scoop.
Yeah, but there you go.
Oh yeah.
So, and the record starts with a song called Coronado, which is a city in California, if I'm not mistaken. So why have you chosen that one to lead things off?
Is it a city? It's a big street in LA. Maybe I'm sure it is a city too, but it's based off a street here.
Okay.
I think we kind of all universally liked the idea of the record. You know, starting with like off the wall, kind of just rocking and like 100 miles per hour, so to speak.
Yep.
So yeah, it felt. We did a lot of speculating with that, but it felt like the right way to start it off.
It sounds like you got a little twin guitar thing going on that one as well.
Oh yeah.
Sound like Thin
Oh
Lizzy.
yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's in there.
Yeah. And the two of you, because my understanding is from what I read that you guys kind of recorded this live in the studio, threw some overdubs over it. So when you're going through the live bit, how much discussion about, like for instance with that track, who's going to play what, if you're going to do it, or do you just kind of go for the vibe?
So most of it's kind of like fleshed out before we're gonna, like, especially with this record, it's kind of fleshed out at practices as far as like the lead stuff or the lead stuff that'll be done live. Otherwise, we'll kind of maybe be in the studio and be like, you take this one, I'll take that one, or they're kind of back and forth like that. But I feel like the live stuff is just getting the capture of the entire band as a unit. You know, it's kind of hard to replicate that. You know, there's something to just the people playing live. It'll always sound like that.
Right. And you have a track called When the Clouds Roll In, which you've got a couple of guests sitting in on piano and pedal steel and stuff, and a different kind of sound on that, more of like a rollicking kind of rootsy sound. So
yeah.
Who are the people that are playing with you in addition? And enlighten me on that track a little more if you can.
I think it's Johnny Cosmos playing keys on it. He's kind of throughout the record.
Right.
Catfish on that, Noah?
Yeah, Catfish is on that.
Catfish playing pedal steel. Is there more stuff on that? I'm trying to think.
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like...
kind of sounds like the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the goal was like that kind of...
Rag Mama Rag kind of thing.
Right. That kind of beautiful era of like when Dylan starts to get into that kind of zone, bandish, that they're just kind of like these big kind of story-ish, although like these lyrics aren't full-blown like that kind of tip, but it's got that's how when we were writing it, to me it just feels that way. I just was like trying to really capture that element, because those things are such, I gravitate to that vibe so much, with a big riff and then a nice beautiful chorus, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of just a lot of the record deals with a lot of looming sadness and happiness, but you know, when the clouds are rolling, they're kind of dark.
Right. Well, speaking of dark, it does get, you have a couple tracks that are over 6 minutes long, 5:08 and Kick the Bucket, and so that and starts out the second half of the record, or the B side if you're flipping it over. So how much thought and discussion went into how you organize the record, track listing, that kind of thing?
It's we talk a lot about sequencing and stuff like that. I don't
Yep.
know if Noah cut out or not, if he was saying something, but we spent a lot of time, not a lot. We spent a good amount of time like sequencing the record, and the end goal was that the A side is kind of like the party, the happy time, and the B side is kind of like the come down. So you get the yin and yang, so to speak,
Yep. And
And
that kick the bucket
so,
track really builds up to like a chaotic kind of ending. What was that like for you guys? Was it rehearsed or did it happen?
yeah, that's a big mix. I don't know if Noah has any more. Those were kind of two different songs we meshed into one. That felt right, and that was kind of something we discovered playing that stuff live.
Right.
So there is like a general setting to it, but we since it's been recorded, it's changed. It changes all the time. We kind of always talk about what's the new version of that. Like sometimes we'll go into a Beatles song instead of that crazy ending, or
Yeah.
it's a lot of room to play with on that, which I feel like the band loves. But
Right.
that song really, I think that one song kind of encapsulates the whole record to me, because it's just this big, all the way going up thing to me, and then it explodes.
Yeah,
Which
I hope this
I love.
gets caught in it, because I'm just experiencing so much bullshit with the Wi-Fi. But
We got
I
you
think
now.
that song showcases the dynamic range of the band. It epitomizes the
Mhm.
record, like Corey said.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, cool. And then my understanding is somebody's dad is playing banjo on ball and key. Is that right? His name
Yeah.
is Bill.
Indeed.
Bill Evans. It's
Who's the
Karina's
sibling?
Indeed.
drummer's.
I don't know if no. Yeah.
It's the drummer Corey's father, who is a soon to be inducted into the Banjo Hall of Fame. So he is a
There's a
legend.
Banjo Hall of Fame.
Yep, and
There
he
is.
is a legend, and he is a surprise guest on the record, and he is an amazing person and musician, and very
Yeah.
grateful to have him on there. I mean, he's been in a number of amazing bluegrass projects.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Cool.
So
Very.
it seems like you guys really have gelled as a band. You're bringing in all these little influences and different styles, but it all sounds like a cohesive thing. Was there a test period, or did you feel it right off the bat that, okay, this is going to work for the four of us?
I don't think there was a test period. I think it was, it was.
Like he's cutting out down.
I mean,
There wasn't really.
yeah, Corey, take the lead on this because of just like the shit.
Yeah. I don't know if there's really a test period. It kind of just like once it became this unit, it just kind of felt right. And my memories are not great. It just in general. So I can't remember the specifics of like when it started, but to me it kind of seemed like once it started, we never really looked back, and it was kind of like me and Noah were like, this is just it. And like, we've been kind of, everyone who's played with us beforehand are all great, all friends of ours still. It
Sure.
just felt like this one, finally, it meshed, and it's just the right move right now, for sure.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.